but it is done in like very quickly, okay?
No worries.
Awesome. So it's nice seeing you again after the match. Finally,
Yes.
कैसा लग रहा है अलीशा?
बहुत बढ़िया लग रहा है. Till the moment I was not swamped with the paperwork. Now I'm stressed again, but it's a good stress to take.
Do you need help with paperwork or something?
Yeah, actually, because I'm here to make a research से physician visa पे I have to like category change होना है ना.
Right?
Yes. तो उससे related वो that SON thingy and क्या notarize
Do you know
कराने.
what to do for the SON? आपको पता है कुछ भेजूं मैं?
अगर है तो भेज दो please, that would be great.
2 मिनट पहले मैं भेजूं अभी कि आपको
नहीं
अभी
बाद
जाना
में आराम से.
हाँ. Later. The reason this thing exists is because जो मैंने आपको मैसेज में लिखा. I will try to ask you questions क्योंकि मेरे को देखना है कि मैंने कुछ किया भी था या नहीं, और अगर genuinely कुछ किया हो तो बोलना, अगर नहीं हो तो वो भी बोल. I want it to be as genuine as possible.
Okay.
No pressure, no nothing. ऐसा नहीं है कि अच्छी बातें ही बोलनी, 2-3 गाली भी बोल देना बीच में कि no, you are shouting too much or whatever you want to say. Okay, don't worry about it. It's completely. I have basically a couple of ऐसा मैंने flow बना रखा है ताकि मुझे भी पता रहे क्या बोलना और quickly होता जाए. Simple as that.
Okay, got it.
ठीक है,
cool. मेरा आवाज clear है ना?
Mostly it is all clear only. I think it's fine if you can sit a bit closer. या कुछ और हो सकता है तो ठीक है, नहीं हो सकता है तो भी चलेगा.
Actually मेरा wall उधर ही है और ये नहीं हो पाएगा. Wait.
कोई बात नहीं. It's fine. Completely fine.
मैं आगे आ सकती हूँ और I can do
बहुत है यार. It's fine. Don't worry. इतना कुछ नहीं है, क्लिप कटेगी. मेरे को भी नहीं करना, एडिटर देखेगा. एडिटर.
ठीक है. बढ़िया.
Man. All right. Awesome. So, hi Dr. Pannu. Can you just briefly introduce yourself? When you graduated from and what specialty were you trying to apply for?
Yeah, hello everyone. So my name is Alicia and I graduated from China from a medical school called Tianjin Medical University in 2018. So I am an old grad who applied and applied for internal medicine and I got into internal medicine.
That's awesome. Were you applying for the first time or was this a second cycle?
Yeah, this was my first cycle and also I was applying as a couples and I couple matched. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Tell me, during the match process, what was the most overwhelming part for you throughout the journey?
So let me start with the match process. I was actually first very overwhelmed with the PS, which luckily I maneuvered my way around and I was able to get a good PS, and I was even praised for it. And then came the part where I was getting my interviews, and then was the time when I was like, I don't know if I can speak well or not, or I was a bit fumbling with my answers and stuff, and that's when I found you on LinkedIn and I approached you and that helped me actually.
So tell me, before you found me, let's discuss, how did you feel going into the interview season? How, were you confident? Were there a lot of unknowns? What was going on through your mind before the interview, like when the interviews came about?
Okay, so when the interviews came, I was like everyone else, I was very happy, but at the same time, I was a bit scared because I had not, taken a lot of interviews in past. So that was something very new for me. And although, you've been studying English for all this while, but you still, you want to be there and you want to be part. You want to connect with the interviewee. So I wanted to try that, and I was doing a bit mock interviews with my friends, which also helped. But at the same time, I wanted some a genuine feedback because friends, they tend to make fun of you and stuff. So they're like, "Nahi, it's good, it's not good," and all of that. So after that, so that was actually my main thing, and I was going very off track when I was giving my answers.
Was there any specific fear, like any specific fear which was related to the interviews, like not knowing how to answer behavioral questions, maybe not knowing what the programs are looking for? Was there any fears in specific?
In specific, my fears were that my answers were becoming very long. The answer that I was trying to rehearse, so they were very long. They were not to the point. And at the same time, I think I was okay with the behavioral questions. I knew how to answer those. And the third thing that I was a bit scared about was that I was not able to make an eye contact with the camera when I was, practicing my interviews on my own.
So when you were going through all of this, you found me. Firstly, how did you find me? And what was it that made you like reach out to me? Like, why did you reach out?
Yeah. So I remember seeing your post on LinkedIn that you just need one interview to match or something like that. And by that time, I actually had just one interview. So that's when I reached out to you because I wanted this cycle to be like my do or die cycle. And yeah, that particular post, and also how to not give generic answers in your interviews, and how to make your interview about yourself, and not sound robotic and stuff. So I don't remember the whole content of your post, but whatever it was, it really, I was able to relate myself, and then that's how I found you on LinkedIn via that post.
Okay, so you found me, you came on me, like you came onto the program, you joined.
Mm-hmm.
What did the interview preparation look like, and what did I help you specifically with?
The interview prep, day one was very good, and then started the brutal process. Yeah, so I actually used to be very nervous when, practicing my interviews with you. I remember you telling me, Alisha, don't have to be nervous. It's okay. You can do this and that. I mean, you were very motivating, but, deep down I was like, can you please not, please? Yeah, so you're making me nervous. But I think you being very strict about the interviews was actually a good thing, because that, for me, doing a session with you, like the mock interviews with you, was the most difficult part. And my interviews felt way, way easier than that. I think that is probably how you have made your program, or designed it. That interviews with you are stressful, but that's the worst that can happen. And then the interviews, the actual ones, they go on very smoothly.
So that is the entire philosophy. Your practice should be higher than the real exam, so that when you go there, it feels like a breeze in the park. And interviews are interviews with the hardest and the strongest program director. And once you go there, it's like easy. So that is the entire philosophy. Tell me, did you feel how did you feel more prepared before and after working with me?
So see, for me, I knew I had the content, I knew what I wanted to talk about, but I did not know how to convey it short and crisp. Okay, and that's where you helped me to make my answers very concise, and actually, I've forgotten the name of the PDF that you made, and it has different chapters. So I went through all of that, and the questions that you have asked in those PDFs actually made me think of my life experiences. And after reading all of that, I thought, oh my God, I have the content. It's just I don't know how to deliver it, or how to deliver it in a good way. So yes, that's what something that really, really helped me. Yeah, that's all about it.
Once you went through the mocks with me, we went through a lot of things with you during our mock conversations and mock interviews. How did those help you gain confidence for the real ones? What did you feel? What did you feel during our mocks that actually you in your real interview?
See, like I told previously, the mocks were brutal. They were very brutal. And the same thing, like you said, after that, like once you are done with the worst, and then that comes the easy part for me, that were the real interviews. So, yep, that was like you said, it was like a breeze in the park.
All right, awesome. Tell me, where were you when you actually matched? When you got that interview thing, when you got that email, where were you when you received that interview?
I was actually on this very same table. That's where that's where I started from my step 2. That's where I took the brutal mocks with you. That's where I made my application, and that's where I got my match result. That's where I gave my interviews too.
That's amazing, man. How did you and your husband feel after you received your match result?
We were elated. I mean, for us, I think because our journey has been very long. So for us, matching was the main thing. Even though if we matched at different places, we really wouldn't care. But we actually matched at the same place, at the same program. So that's like the cherry on top. We didn't ask for that, but we got it. So we're very happy. We just elated it. Yeah.
Very happy for you guys.
Thank you.
Finally, what did you think? What did you think makes my approach better than just reading a PDF or watching free YouTube videos available on the internet?
So with you, I think the thing is like, with you, the conversations flow. When you talk to us, or when we are doing the mocks, or when you were even trying to get to know about my life story, the conversation flows, and it's very easy to talk to you. And you actually make, like I said, you actually make the other person think. right? That, hey, you, aap batao, aapne kya kiya hai? Like, you know, you tell us what you have done in the past, or what you have, you know, what were any specific thing that, or you would give your example, and that would make me actually go back to my time and think about things. So I think that is something that was very important. And also, obviously, the one-on-one sessions are better, because, you know, when you are doing with the audience, the answers tend to become very generic. But when it's one-on-one, you have that privacy, and you can, you know, you can discuss things and all of that. So I think that approach is really great. And also, I would like to add one more thing is, since I told you that I'm doing a couples match thing, and you actually gave me a great pointer so that I can add things about my husband during my interviews, right?
Yeah.
So that also, and then that would actually, you know, make them curious. Oh, right, okay, can you tell us more about him? And then, you know, that makes the conversation flowing. And the interviews actually went on for more than they were, you know, scheduled for. So that's a win situation, I think.
Lovely. That was the entire
Yeah.
point of having your husband in the conversation. So
Yeah.
this is a question that I have to ask. Did you feel like I genuinely cared about the outcome, or did you feel like I was paid something, which is why I had to execute?
No, I feel that you actually genuinely cared about the outcome, because, like, before you told me that, you know, before you have any interview, you can let me know, and, you know, we can do a mock according to, tailored to that particular interview for that particular program and place. So I think that really shows that you were also invested equally, you know, during the whole thing. And also, like, just a small gesture that you sent, you know, a cake after I got mashed. So that small gesture, and it had a sunflower, which I have kept. It's fake, but, you know, it goes well. So yeah, so I think these small things actually, you know, makes me think that you were equally invested in the program. So I love that.
Love it, man. Love it. I think this is actually the final question. Would you actually recommend working with Marish, working with me, to someone that is in a very similar position? And if yes, then why?
Yes, definitely I would, and I already have, to be very honest. One of my friends was going to apply for the cycle. That would be her first cycle. So she has asked me, you know, if she wanted to connect with you. And then there's one more person who went unmatched. So they asked me, what do you think what do you think made you match? And like, my number one answer always is, because I think my interviews went really well. And you know what happens is, when in an interview, when your interview is actually nodding along, and then they're smiling and they're giving those small gestures, and you know that they are listening to you. And then they ask you follow-up questions related to your personal stories, and not about, you know, they just go on to the next question. So I think that is the reason that, and that only came because, you know, I was able to talk to you, and then we made up all those answers and stuff. So, yep, I think that is the reason that I would actually recommend you, and I already have.
That's lovely. Now, after so many nice things you've said, let's get to the real meat of things. What would your feedback be to me in order to improve the program for the next person that is in line?
My one feedback would be to go a bit easy on the starting sessions. I mean, you can be a bit judgmental when it comes to later sessions, or when it's near the interview. I mean, that's how I think I would have worked better. Because I remember before a couple of our sessions, I used to be very, like, nervous, to the point that I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. But yeah, in the longer run, it really helped. But yeah, I would have appreciated if you were a bit more calmer in the starting sessions.
Done. Awesome. Lovely feedback.
Yeah.
I'll definitely take that into consideration. And as I said, I was really happy when you matched, because trust me,
Thank you.
I was worried a lot, but I was like, इसको कुछ ऐसा तो नहीं हो गया कि nervous हो जाएगी मेरी वजह से. But it actually worked very nicely. You were better in the interviews than expected. So good job, man. Congratulations. You deserve all of it.
Thank you so much.
ये हुआ